from LaSalle Field in Whitensville, Massachusetts, Charter TV3 presents live coverage of Central Mass High School football. Tonight, we kick the season off as the Quabbin Panthers visit the Northbridge Rams. It's high school football on Charter TV3. Hello, everyone. Welcome down to the field. Kevin Shea alongside of Andy Lacombe. And Andy, we know what we're going to get from Northbridge and Ken LaChapelle, a high-flying, creative offense. For Quabbin, though, we're going to see something different than we've seen the last few years. They're going to the double wing. What do you expect here tonight?
It's a clash of styles. Not one maybe that Coach LaChapelle here at Northbridge likes too much, but Dave Buchanan, the head coach at Quabbin, ran this offense, the double wing, for Mike Pucko in high school. He loves it. His linemen love it. They're going to look to try to control the clock, where Northbridge is going to look to put points on the board and put them up in a hurry.
Northbridge begins their 122nd season of high school football as they take on the Quabbin Panthers, and we kick off our 2018 season as well. The opening kickoffs coming up next.
With my Bay State Savings Bank mobile app, I don't need to drive to a local branch to deposit my money. I can deposit a check just by taking a picture on my phone. Anywhere, anytime. Done. I just saved on gas and saved myself some time. It's a win for everybody.
For everybody?
For everybody.
For everybody?
For everybody.
For everybody.
I know.
Bay State Savings Bank is proud to sponsor the Friday Night Football Frenzy. Bay State Savings Bank. We take banking personally.
Accidents involving distracted driving injured over 400,000 Americans last year. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car or motorcycle accident, before you call your insurance company, call the law offices of Joseph J. Corriglia. Our attorneys have helped tens of thousands of clients receive millions of dollars in settlements for over 50 years. Don't stand alone against the big insurance companies. Call the law offices of Joseph J. Corriglia for a free consultation. We don't get paid unless you do.
Hi, I'm Mike Demers, General Sales Manager here at Bertera Nissan in Auburn. We'll give you the best price and leave you happy every single time.
Our local team is ready to provide you with an unparalleled customer experience.
Save $6,000 off MSRP on a brand new 2018 Nissan Rogue Model S.
I want to invite you to come down and experience the #1 Nissan dealership for sales, service, and parts in Central New England.
Bertera Nissan, Route 20, Auburn, Massachusetts.
Doors. Every door is different. Every door, unique. And each one tells a story. Open a door at Unibank and you'll find a unique place. A bank where we listen to you and find answers. All to help you write your unique success story. Welcome to the new Unibank. Please, after you. Unibank. Bank different. Bank unique. Member FDIC. Member DIF. Equal housing lender.
Welcome back, everyone, to LaSalle Field. Kevin Shea, Andy Lacombe. Quabbin won the toss. They have elected to receive. Ken LaChapelle, the dean of coaches, the winningest high school football coach in Massachusetts history, the active winningest and the all-time winningest, as he leads the Rams out, coaching over 40 years, 43 years of coaching. He is the best. He is awesome.
And you know what is maybe the best thing his rival coaches will say about him is this is the type of program all towns want to have.
Yeah. They put the Rams on the helmet this week. You got to earn them here at this town. Quabbin on the return, slips down at the 19-yard line. After an 8-yard return, it's Hector Johnson. And we had a lot of rain come through here earlier, so it is a wet track out there on the field.
Yeah, the footing actually not terrible on certain parts, but there are some slick spots as well. We were out there pregame, but Hector Johnson's an athletic kid who comes out of the city and transferred out there, and he'll be a part of this offense with Zach Coffin. The quarterback, new this year in the double wing, and that offensive line in front of him enjoys running it, but Coffin has some experience as a youth in this offense as well. Here we go.
Yeah, to Ware. Quarterback the Pop Warner system there. They ran a similar offense. This time it's the fullback straight ahead. In that double wing formation, it's tough to see. Tough for the linebackers to see as well.
Yeah, Derek Rohan is the fullback, and you know he's a guy who really, according to his coach, established himself in double wing. There's such a thing as a double wing camp in the preseason, and another coach pointed him out as a possible fullback candidate. A big, strong kid, physical kid as the fullback.
Yeah, Mike Ross loved him at the double wing camp. buddy, you got your fullback right here. Inside handoff again. And this time Northbridge stacks it up at the line of scrimmage, no gain. And that'll bring up 3rd down and a long 6. This is one of the situations that Quabbin wanted to stay away from. They wanted those 3rd down and shorts. They don't want 3rd and long.
It's the situation Northbridge really wanted to put Quabbin in. And 2 runs to the fullback right away. Colby Smith, number 11, coming down to the bottom of your screen. He is the featured back, the speedster, and he's on the wing right now.
And here we go to the outside. And beautiful defense. Smith tackled after a 2-yard gain, but that's great pursuit from those athletic linebackers
Brian
the Northbridge
Wildman.
defense employs.
Wildman does a nice job in the open field because Smith's probably got 1st down yardage with just enough of a block. Wildman sheds it, makes a good hit. And now if you're Quabbin on your first series, the offense is still on the field.
Brian Wildman, as his coach described him, his last name aptly describes him. He is a wild man on the field. 5'10", 160, but plays a lot bigger than that. And Quabbin's going to go for it on 4th and 3. Here's Smith. Smith cuts it off, tackles Smith. Close to the sticks. Let's see where they mark him. I think it's going to be just short. I think the defense has held for North. No, it's a 1st down. On the near side, here the spot looked like it was short, but the far side is where they had the spot.
Clearly looking to run with their speed guy around Owen Falha, their number 70, who got a block in there. And he's on the left side of the line. He comes pulling over, as so many do in the double wing.
And this is what Quabbin wanted to do, though. They want to eat clock. And this is the change in direction. The speed back spinning through the defense. Great job by Noah Herzig. He was a power lifter. He took last year off, didn't play football, just concentrated on powerlifting.
Yeah.
He showed some power at the end of this run.
How many times do you hear that? He took a year off to power lift, and he's got obviously strong base of power there going right up the middle. He's a good change up back to the speed guy, and Smith on the outside for this offense.
So the clock running here in the first quarter. Quabbin received the opening kick, and they have had it throughout, converting on a 4th down. They have 2 first downs on this drive, and that one stopped after a gain of 1.
And that's already
and we're under 8 minutes to play.
The 4th different ball carrier, Seth Talbot, with the carry there for Quabbin. They run 4 different guys through that double wing.
Talbot emerged last year, had 120 yards rushing against Burncoat, and he's an athlete. He's a pole vaulter as well, a track athlete, and a weight room guy. Is one thing Dave Buchanan said about this team. They had their best offseason in the weight room that they've had since he's been the coach. Here in his 5th season, Dave Buchanan. Smith looking for some room. Great pursuit to the football by that Rams defense.
Yeah, really well done. Looks like Jason Voldre back there, and among others for the Northbridge defense. Guy who has a tiger-like motor, I think, is what his coach described him. As he'll play offense and defense. Maybe an undersized lineman on the offensive side, but a guy who just attacks opposing offenses.
You saw Dave Buchanan there. He played for Mike Pucko at West Boylston, had a great high school career, and then coached with Pucko at Holy Name. He gave him his start in coaching, and during this offseason, a good pickup on 3rd down. It'll bring up 4th down and 3, but in the offseason, Dave Buchanan spent a lot of time with Mike Pucko and Mike Ross in installing the double wing and going over what he needed to do, and couldn't say enough about the help that Coach Pucko and Coach Ross gave to him in the offseason.
There's like a fraternity of double wing coaches that are more than happy if someone wants to join the club, or rejoin the club in this case.
4th and 3 now. Zach Coffin, the senior, under center. They're going to roll and throw. Coffin's going to tuck it and run, and he's close to the sticks again. Let's see, it looks like he has the 1st down. Coffin going forward, driving the legs, and he stretched it forward for another 1st down and another 4th down conversion for this Quabbin offense.
Taking a long look at it, but another different look. And, you know, the double wing There's so many different things that guys can put and spin off of it. You think it's maybe 4 or 5 plays. Well, it's maybe 4 or 5 formations, and you can have a different variety. That time the quarterback, it's close, and they're going to move the chains. It's taken a little bit of a delay over there.
That almost appeared as like the old naked bootleg is what they ran there, but they got the first down, and again for Quabbin, they're going to move the clock. They're going to keep possession, and this is what they want. They want to keep the ball out of the hands of the Northbridge offense, long ball control drives, and when you're talking about teams where some guys are going to play both ways, especially on a wet field and a muggy night, you can wear down.
Nice job by Coffin to fall on that football. A little exchange. I was watching the quarterbacks throw the football in the pregame, and there was a wet football. There was times where they had some trouble handling it, just getting either a shotgun snap or a snap under center. So it will be something to watch for as the game goes on. Ball security.
And the footwork in the double wing for a quarterback is very tough, and it's something that goes unnoticed. But just the pivots, the open pivot, the reverse pivot, you've got to get deep enough to get away from your guard. This time, Coffin leads the blocking on the outside, and we're going to get a face mask call, I think, and that'll be another first down for Quabbin.
Yeah,
Herzig.
Herzig was calling his own penalty, and he's going to get it. Freddie King leading our officiating staff. I think Freddie is the only referee who does Channel 3 games now.
Some places
Personal
have a
foul.
house band.
Face mask on the defense. 15 yards from the end of the run. Quabbin has a timeout.
Freddie's like the Roots for us on the Late Show,
that's
basically.
Exactly it. Oh, Herzig just got his head spun around. Herzig's a tough kid. He's 5'7", 160 pounds, but as his coach said, he'd rather run over you than around you.
Central Mass High School Football on Charter TV3 is presented by the law offices of Joseph J. Cariglia and by Bay State Savings Bank.
So the Quabbin Panthers will pick up a first down after the 15-yard personal foul for face masking. They are now deep into Northbridge territory at the Rams' 32-yard line. That Northbridge defense coming out and huddling around their defensive coordinator, Steve Falconer. Steve Falconer's done such a great job coaching here at Northbridge, and he's a guy that just bleeds for Northbridge. He has so much pride in this town and this school. He taught here for years. He founded the lacrosse program in town, was the lacrosse coach here at the high school and at the youth level, doing both for years, coaches Pop Warner football and high school football. He's a guy, you can't find someone who is more proud of Northbridge than Steve Falconer. His son's a freshman, his oldest son's a freshman. He got called up for this game. About 9 freshmen got called up to dress. His son's one of them, and Steve jumped out of bed before anyone this morning, woke his son up, said, "Do you know what tonight is? Are you ready? Do you know what tonight is?" So he has been chomping at the bit for this, and you could just, talking to him today, you could just hear how proud and excited he was for his son to get to experience being part of that Northbridge football tradition.
Yeah, his defenses, you touched on it briefly, have been stout. Regardless of record, regardless of how far the team has gone, the defenses have been really tough here at Northbridge over the last couple of years.
They get athletes out there, and here they go. Those athletes swarm into the football. Good pursuit on the defensive line. Zach Hayes. Hayes just crashing down.
And Hayes is a sophomore, a guy who's really always fighting for a spot and battling for playing time, and he's found it and earns that time with that kind of play in the backfield.
And that's a perfect tackle by Hayes in today's football, where they teach that head up and kind of roll the running back. That was a picture-perfect tackle right there by Hayes. But that's what Steve Falconer said. We got, we may have guys that are lighter up front, and especially in the front seven, but we have athletes. We have kids that are quick and are fast, and we're going to be aggressive, and we're going to put pressure on you.
Let's see if they run here. 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12.
Oh, shoveled. It's a fumble. That's a loose football, and the Rams recover. They were trying to do the scissors, the double handoff, and that Northbridge aggressive defense with the penetration.
Yeah, Remillard recovers the fumble, and this is what Dave Buchanan wanted to avoid the turnover and making mistakes because he said Northbridge will capitalize on anything we do wrong. And it's a big play for this Northbridge defense to kind of stop the momentum. 6.5+ minutes there, almost taken off by this Quabbin offense. So Quabbin, did some things that they wanted to do here. They took the air out of the ball a little bit, but now they have to deal with that Northbridge offense for the first time.
And let's see what we get here on first down. Ken LaChapelle known to do a little bit of tricks, and they run the swinging gate formation here as they swing people out the formation to the left side. Quabbin adjusts. Quarterback goes in motion. Now the running back goes in motion. Oh, loose football. And it is recovered. Zach Roberts was the running back. He recovered it, but it'll be a loss of 3 on the play.
Coach, he told us about that play last night. I don't know if it was a tight end counter or something. He had all kinds of different plays.
He had some stuff going on there that they're going to, as they do every game, he's got so many plays that he puts a lot of pressure on defenses.
They like to go for it on that first play.
You can hear when you talk to Coach LaChapelle, 43 years of coaching, but still how enthusiastic he is, how much he loves football, loves teaching the game, and he's so creative, and he loves, guys will draw things up when you go back to being a little kid and playing in your front yard and playing in your neighborhood. He'll draw up plays like that and say, we can do this.
Yeah, you see as the rain starts to pick up a little bit, Owen Falha and helping lead the way through there. Falha is a tough dude. Noah Herzig in there as well. Playing on both sides of the ball, and now Northbridge backed up into a 3rd and long.
Yeah, 3rd and 16 right now. Jake Stasinski, the junior. Remember, he started a year ago as a sophomore. Great athlete. But again, ball security, handling the ball. He's going deep down the sideline. And it's just incomplete, intended for Aiden Fair. Aiden Fair, a former quarterback. He started the season last year as the QB. He's another terrific athlete, and those fly patterns a staple of this Northbridge offense.
And Fair was actually the quarterback that beat Quabbin at Quabbin last year in a battle of spread offenses. Now a little bit different, but he's an athlete, and he's a guy that can step in and make the big play as a receiver now.
Fair's a guy that looks like the traditional Northbridge athletic football player, 6'2", 185. Oh, now flag flies. I think it's going to be a formation procedure penalty on Northbridge. Back him up more. Fromont's the kicker.
Dead ball. Illegal substitution on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Brings up 4th down.
You were talking up Fair. He was on the field. He was the extra man. And now he's going to find a spot where he can kind of. It's tough for him to hide, though, because he's a big, strong athlete there. It's tough for him to hide it amongst the younger crowd out there.
Jordan Fromont is the kicker. Line drive, hits, takes a Northbridge bounce. Quabbin has to get away, and it'll be down at the 44 of Quabbin with 2:09 to play in the first quarter. So if you're Quabbin right now, you're happy with how this game's going. Dave Buchanan wanted a 14-7 game. He said, we don't want to get into a track meet or a shootout with Northbridge. We're not going to win that type of game. So he wants a low-scoring game, and that's what he's getting so far after a 30-yard punt. It's good field position for Quabbin, and I'm sure they'd be content with just running out the first quarter right here and holding this ball into the second quarter.
You're happy with the rain, too, against the,
you're right about
throwing
that.
team. As long as you can take care of the ball.
It's a good point. Here's Colby Smith. Smith has some blocking. He's across midfield and into Northbridge territory down to the 49. A pickup of 8 yards on first down.
You get a pretty good look at it from the field camera, just how hard it's coming down out there. It's gonna play a factor. But Smith is a guy, I mean, you could game plan around him offensively, and then defenses have to key on him. But the problem with that is the 3 or 4 other guys that have already shown they can move the football in the backfield for Quabbin.
Colby Smith, 210 pounds, ran a 4.53 40 at UMaine's camp. So he has got speed
he's
and
getting
size.
D1 looks.
Had a visit with Bryant last weekend. He's a guy that is going to be tough to tackle. And here's on the quarterback rollout. Coffin's going to keep it. Open field. Coffin's got the first down. He's inside the 45 down to the 43-yard line. Zach Coffin on the bootleg.
That looked a little bit more like the naked boot, but they actually had a tight end going out in a route here. So this was a throw pass type thing. I think the timing's disrupted, and that caused Coffin to run the football. But he did have Devin Thomas out there in a pass route, a rare pass route.
So that is the 6th first down of the first quarter for Quabbin. And one of those things, too, especially where it's a right-handed quarterback running to his left, if he was going to his right, he might throw that ball, but going to his left, he would have to reach back, and someone was right there on his hip. And here they go back to the sweep, and that one's dropped for no gain.
Aiden Pylon there filling the hole.
That may be the final play of the first quarter. We'll see.
It's cooking. It's cooking right now, Kev. It's moving along.
Yeah, it is.
With this double wing takeover.
This is exactly the way they want it.
It's like a lot like the last football game we had, the All-Star game in the summer when you had the high-flying offense from one side and you had Rossi in the double wing. What are you doing running a double wing in the All-Star game? Rossi won the game.
Let's see if they, I don't know that they're going to have to snap it. There's 3 seconds remaining in the quarter. I thought they set it with under 30 seconds to play. Yep, they did. So they don't have to snap it, and they will not. After one quarter of football here at LaSalle Field, it's Quabbin nothing, Northbridge nothing. We're coming back with the second quarter.
Providing our customers with the highest level of quality, service, and value. Pucci's Fine Jewelry, 205 West Boylston Street in West Boylston. Looking for a local lender you can trust? Come to Milford Federal. Our great rates, low closing costs, and personalized customer service have made us your family financial center for over 130 years. Apply online or visit us at one of our branches today.
Sullivan Group is an insurance and risk management services firm based in Worcester for over 60 years.
Our company values are family values.
Committed to our clients and finding them the best solutions.
Committed to being independent.
Committed to our community.
We live here, we work here, we volunteer here. The Sullivan Insurance Group.
Committed to excellence.
Friday night, the frenzy, the first true frenzy of the year. Now, we've had a couple frenzies where they were preview shows, and we had some college highlights a week ago, but tomorrow night will be the first true frenzy where it's all highlights all the time. Tomorrow night at 10:25. Quabbin, some first quarter numbers. Quabbin with 33 yards of total offense, all on the ground. Northbridge -6 total offense. The Rams 2 penalties for 20 yards. And Quabbin was clean, and that was one of the keys Dave Buchanan said. We've got to be clean, mistake-free football. Beautiful job on the scissors, the double handoff, and Smith with a good chunk of change.
I mean, outside of the one fumble, Quabbin and their defense came up and covered up that mistake pretty well. Quabbin really had control of that first quarter, and you know they're getting a lot done in the trenches. Their line isn't enormous. They got some tall, lanky athletes, but you know 65 there. I think that's Tristan Kemp. He looked really good in the pregame warm-up. He's a guy who can really move some people around.
Yeah, and the guards are such a key in the double wing that you've got to be quick enough to pull. You've got to be, in some ways, you got to be as fast as the running backs, if not faster, because you've got to beat them to the hole. You have to beat them to the point of attack, and when you do, you got to get on someone's hip, whether it's a defensive lineman or it's a linebacker.
And what they're doing, Quabbin, over the last plays to Smith, a long fourth down coming up. They are accounting for Omar Concepcion, the Northbridge captain, who is a disruptive force, number 76 there up front. A guy that they are accounting for with maybe sometimes 2 and 3 guys, it seemed like.
4th and long, and Coffin stumbles on the exchange from center and falls down, and the Northbridge defense holds, and the Rams will take over in good field position on their own 42-yard line.
Yeah, disruption. You know, big 76 there in the middle of the pile, and you know that one just a slip up, but he was coming up the middle.
Here's Jake Stasinski, number 10, the junior quarterback. His father played for Ken LaChapelle here at Northbridge in 1983 grad. He was a fullback and a linebacker.
Which means he really only played on defense if he was a fullback in this coach's offense.
That's a good point. He was a decoy or a third guard. They'll go from the shotgun, Stasinski. McNeil goes in motion. There's 3 McNeil brothers on this team. And the handoff to Roberts. And Roberts spins through a couple tackles, but he'll be dropped for a loss of 2 on the play. The Quabbin defense has been impressive so far.
Really good pursuit from that Quabbin defense. Herzig and Falha over there again. McNeil, Cullen McNeil gave a nice little block there on the edge, but they could not get Roberts to the corner. Roberts is one of these great dynamic athletes for Northbridge, and I like the idea of getting him the ball and giving him some room to run, some space. He's a guy they're going to want to have touches.
So it'll be Stasinski again from the shotgun. Rolls out on the bootleg, squares his shoulders, goes deep, and it is picked off by Colby Smith. Smith across midfield to the 40 and run out of bounds at the Northbridge 37-yard line. Colby Smith playing free safety. Dave Buchanan said to us, when you got an athlete like Colby Smith back there, you put him in center field and say, you find the ball and get it. And that's exactly what he did.
100%. And this is the most experienced part of the defense for Quabbin. The 3 defensive backs, the only 3 returners, and Smith, that great athlete, he came across from center field, as you said, to make that play. This ball up in the air a while, and they're going to hit with Fromont there, but Smith comes away and takes it away. That's another big play, another turnover back for the Quabbin defense.
24-yard return on the interception, and the Panthers in good field position at the 38 of Northbridge. Coffin pitches it back, and a good push up front. Noah Herzig picks up 3.5 yards on the carry.
Now you got power lifters, you got wrestlers, you got all kinds of guys up there in the hinterlands coming
and
down.
You got a dude at number 11 as Colby Smith. As they say in the double wing offense, you need a dude. And Colby Smith is their dude.
Who's our dude?
I don't know.
I think it's Phil Robo.
Phil Robo's our dude. He's been our dude for years. Quarterback sneak straight ahead. Nice job by Coffin. You know, and that's a good play to throw that in, and credit to the offensive coordinator at Quabbin, because you have linebackers and everyone's looking at the guards and they're all looking, okay, I'm going to follow the guards, that'll take me to the play. All of a sudden, boom, the ball snapped and everyone's coming straight ahead. Before you know it, it's a 2-yard pickup, 3-yard pickup.
Yeah, and he's doing a nice job is Corey Morgan, the senior. He's the center on this Quabbin offensive line. Just his second year in football. There he is, 58, leading them out. And, it's his job to take care of your quarterback, but he had to get that push up the middle on the keeper.
3rd down and 5. We got movement early, so this will bring them back 5 yards, and now you're going to have 3rd and 10. This is what Quabbin didn't want to have happen, because 3rd and 5 is manageable. You run it, you say, hey, pick up 3 yards, and then we'll be 4th and 2.
Dead ball, false start on the offense.
Yeah,
5-yard
I
penalty,
think
repeat
Quabbin
3rd
is
down.
a team that anywhere, it seems like from their own 30 on, in this game anyway, is a 4-down team.
Yeah.
So, at 3rd and 10, you want to try to get 6 or 7 here and then make it a manageable 4th down attempt.
And what happens, too, is you stop the clock. Clock 7:26 remaining in the first half, and so if you don't have that penalty, you're into 6 minutes and change. Oh, beautiful pursuit and pressure. That Northbridge defense again. It's
That's
the
Hayes.
long, lean guy, Zach Hayes. 5'11", 165, playing defensive tackle and end. Man just busted in.
Now at 4th and a long ways, you've got a punting formation coming out for Quabbin, perhaps. Well, maybe not. That was just Smith wandering in the backfield. They see where they come up with on 4th and long.
Quabbin 1 of 5 on 3rd down conversions, but 2 of 3 on 4th down conversions.
Coffin is the punter.
Line up in a punting formation. As the clock runs here, Under 6 minutes and 23 seconds to play. Northbridge with 2 back deep. Beautiful punt from Quabbin, a high hanging kick. It takes a Northbridge bounce and is down at the 25-yard line. So it is a 19-yard punt with no return. And that's Owen Falla who downs it for Quabbin.
Falla's been all over the place.
Yeah. Good coverage.
All right, there's Coach LaChapelle's offense is on the field for the 3rd time. And he's talking about getting dry footballs out to his offense there, but you know, he's a guy he's going to constantly teach, and the quarterback position might be the hardest position to play.
It is.
For Coach, because it is, but here especially because Coach is on you.
Oh, yeah. Here's Stasinski's trying to set up a screen. They swing it out to the side. The Quabbin defense right there.
Man.
And that's some good popping going on over there. Derek Rohan was the defensive back for Quabbin that was right there.
First one to blow it up. They just couldn't get the blocking out in front. Rohan takes a good shot, and then look at Kemp just comes in almost like hog tie, wrestles him down.
He bulldogged him down. That's an old rodeo move.
He's the heavyweight wrestler, Kemp, though.
Oh,
and you know what? He looks
right
the part, man. I'm telling you, he's an impressive-looking guy out there.
Thing is, too, he was wrestling against these high school kids when he was in 7th and 8th grade as a heavyweight, wrestling against juniors and seniors. So he's not, even though he didn't play football, he's never been in awe of being a younger kid playing against older kids. Here's Roberts again, plowing his way forward. Tell you what, they described Roberts as a scat back at 5'7", 170, but he just lowers his shoulder. He wants to run people over. He wants to inflict punishment.
He's a pretty big guy. I think a lot of runners are referred to as scatbacks, but in the passing offense. But he got behind Luke McNeil and got a good push.
All right, we got a timeout on the field. 5:02 remaining in the first half. Northbridge offense is going to talk it over. We'll see what they come up with when we come back.
Holy Cross football is back in Worcester. Don't miss family fun and Division I football right in your backyard. Tickets start at just $15. Visit goholycross.com/tickets or call 1-844-GO-CROSS.
Welcome back. Central Mass High School football on Charter TV3 is brought to you by Unibank, by the Sullivan Group, Pucci's Fine Jewelry, and Milford Federal.
All right, so it's 3rd and long, and we'll see what Ken LaChapelle dials up. This is, if you're a fan of high school football, it's fun to watch Northbridge in these situations because a lot of offenses, 3rd and long, you're in your own territory, you're inside your own 30. They would go conservative. They might go screen, they might go a little dump pass, a little pop pass. With the Ken LaChapelle offense, you could see anything. You could see a double reverse pass. You could see, 4 wides going deep here. They could go to the house. We'll see what they dial up. They do have 3 wide receivers in the ball game now. Roberts is the 4th. Stasinski fires to the right, and it is incomplete. Aiden Fair running the seam route.
They had what they wanted to. One-on-one coverage. Fair on a little post, got inside his man, and they just couldn't connect. There wasn't safety help on that side, so Fair, if he is able to connect with him, Fair may go a long way.
Oh, yeah. Well, and it's one of the things that Northbridge does. Offensively, they will line up like that, and the quarterback will look and say, okay, who's covering who? Do I see a 50, 60 number? Do I see a linebacker on my receiver? If I do, that's my matchup. If they see cornerbacks, they say, okay. But if you see a high number, use 40, 50 number, okay, I got a linebacker on this guy, he's my first option. High hanging punt, good punt. Hits right at midfield and goes backwards, and it is down there. 21-yard punt. Wildman downs it, and Quabbin will take over inside of Northbridge territory.
Yeah. Not a long punt, but a good punt because Colby Smith doesn't get to return it, and that can be a dangerous proposition for any team when 11's back there running the football. Central Mass High School football here on Charter TV3. Brought to you by the Central Mass Safety Council, Bertera Nissan of Auburn and by Holy Cross Athletics.
Quabbin scrimmaged Narragansett, West Boylston, and Bartlett in the preseason. They liked what they did. Zach Coffin rolling out under pressure. Coffin fires. Oh, beautiful catch. And it'll be a first down for the Panthers.
Warburton.
A one-handed catch by the tight end and the captain, Jack Warburton. He's a weight room guy.
Yeah, you know, Warburton, he makes like one of these. This is what all the NFL guys are doing, the one-handed grabs, the Odell Beckham. And Jake Warburton makes a nice play. One of the leaders in that weight room, and they had good weight room participation. Guys had to lead them throughout the offseason. Offense was changing. You're going to do a little more blocking, a little less catching, but he gets rewarded there.
Warburton was #1 in attendance in the offseason in the weight room. And a nice run on first down by Seth Talbot. Talbot, a dynamic running back, and he was another guy that was in the weight room, a track guy, but he would, after track practice, would go into the weight room, and so many of them, baseball players would go into the weight room after practice or after games, and they set a culture. And, you know, games, a lot of times, games can be won and lost by what you do 6 months before the season in the weight room and the chemistry and the culture that's formed. And Quabbin had the best offseason they've had in the weight room. Northbridge gets pressure and a flag thrown, so this one probably coming back for holding. Noah Herzig did have a first down.
Noah Herzig on the carry. There is a flag.
Herzig had a good hold. He may have been beneficiary of the hold.
Holding. Offense.
Holding against Quabbin.
10 yards in the previous spot. Repeat the down.
Freddie is not to be trifled with. There was a player nearby asking who it was, and he just said, "Hey, move back,
back it up."
All right. It's also, you know, it's also like 2 weeks into school now, so Freddie's got to deal with. He's got the kids.
He's got the middle school kids.
You know, and it's like, all right, for a long day, that's a tough assignment. Middle school's a tough assignment.
He's not going to take any guff. Fred King, you know who's in charge when he is refereeing. Calls a great game. Here's the handoff. Between the tackles, it is Smith. And he stood up and dropped at the 39-yard line is where they give him forward progress.
You know, not a lot of explosive plays by an explosive guy just yet. They're feeling their way out, but a lot of that is a credit to this Northbridge defense getting hats to the football. There were, 4 or 5 guys around Colby Smith after maybe a yard or two there.
You know, and their 44 is their base defense. They're not looking, those defensive linemen are going after the football. They want to penetrate. They're not there to just clog up 2 gaps and hold up blockers. They're there to make plays. They're trying to get in there, and there's a first down. Herzig spinning forward after contact, and he picks up a big Quabbin first down. And you got 2:39 now, and possibly, maybe, if nothing else, having a shot at a field goal.
Yeah, you just don't want Northbridge to get the football back. Good stick there at the end by Fair. Herzig, yeah, he's a strong dude, man. He gets low and runs the football, and he's a north-south guy.
Zach Coffin did hit a field goal against Bartlett in the scrimmage, the first field goal that Dave Buchanan thought they've kicked or hit in 5 years.
Yeah.
He said probably game range is 30, but he can kick it deeper than that. Here's a fumble.
Fumble on the play.
And Talbot falls on the ball. Let's see, a timeout.
Out to the 30-yard line.
Lost about 4 on the play.
Timeout on the field. Someone called timeout.
Yeah, Freddie King called for it. It was the 2-minute warning.
Official timeout for the 2-minute warning.
Steve Falconer, the defensive coordinator for Northbridge.
That would have been
goatee there.
It would have been good if they had that shot during your monologue.
Oh, I'm
earlier.
telling you, he's awesome. He is great. I love talking to him, and he's such an asset to the school system here at Northbridge. Such a credit to the school system at Northbridge, and did so much for the school and for the kids. Steve Falconer. You know, he's a guy, he's not in the school system now. That's a big void. That's a big void for the Northbridge schools, not to have Steve Falconer in there. And not to have him on the sideline for lacrosse a guy who just built that program from the ground up with the youth programs and did the same with football and helping to coach youth football here.
Holding on the offense. 10 yards in the previous
That's
spot.
a big penalty.
Repeat the down.
10 yards pushes him out. You said 30 yards in a game for Coffin as a kicker. I'm not sold that would be something they would do. I think they'd try it if it was the last play, I think, of the half.
Which we'll see. It's 1:51 remaining here in the first half. Second down and 23. In the double wing offense, there's not a ton of plays for the 2nd and 23, but you got to stick with what you're doing. Quabbin's run 28 plays on offense. Northbridge has only run 9. So the script right now is going the Panthers' way. They're going to throw it, and deep and incomplete. Smith was the intended receiver. Good defense by Zach Roberts, who was right there, stride for stride.
Yeah, and he might have forced Smith to break off his route a little bit because the quarterback was going somewhere else when Smith was kind of cutting back to the sideline. Defense had him kind of bottled up out there.
3rd and 23, there's Dave Buchanan. He's done a great job with
How
this
about that,
Quabbin
though?
program.
We asked him, did you ever think you'd be coaching the double wing after playing in high school? He's like, I was so excited to start a football season because I got to show the kids something I got to do and love in high school.
There's the double handoff. Some room to run. And down to the 35-yard line goes Smith. And let's see if Northbridge takes a timeout, because I think Quabbin will just let this clock run and be content to let it run. 4th down. See if they go for it at the 35 of Northbridge. They won't have to snap the football if they don't want till there's under a minute to play here in the first half.
There's your timeout.
Yep. Northbridge is going to take the timeout with 1:18 remaining here in the first half. As the Rams will hope to get the ball back.
If you're Northbridge, you want to get that football back, and you can, try to hit a big play, but just try to get a little momentum for your offense going in to the break. Northbridge gets the ball to start the 3rd quarter. This first week is tough generally for offenses, and a lot of times you feel like the defense is just a little bit ahead of the offense coming out of camp. Sometimes it's different for different teams, but adjusting into that from the scrimmages and getting into week 1, maybe you need a half, get a half under your belt, and then come out flying in the second half.
And for Northbridge, I think you just need some plays. Only 9 plays, 9 offensive plays in the first half. That's just not a lot. So we'll see. Aiden Fair and Roberts were back deep. Now it's just Roberts back deep. Quabbin's going to kick it away.
Zachary Coffin set to kick.
Coffin will punt. And some good pressure coming from Northbridge. Coffin, a beautiful punt, and the fair catch is called for at the 12-yard line with 1:13 to play here in the first half. A 24-yard punt from Coffin and no return. So a beautiful job by Coffin. And there's Jake Stasinski getting his marching orders from Ken LaChapelle. Again, the all-time winningest coach in Massachusetts history. Ken LaChapelle. And they do such a great job with so many schools and so many towns, especially this year, last year. The numbers are starting to dwindle a little bit in participation in high school football. You look at this Northbridge sideline, look at the numbers they have. A lot of schools now don't have a freshman team, don't have a JV team. Northbridge still has a freshman and a JV team and a varsity team, and they have the numbers to do so. And that's a credit to the coaching staff and what they've been able to do to get those kids to come out and play. Stasinski, quick hitter, deflected in the air, and it's caught by one of the linemen.
Vaudrey
picking up 6 yards on the reception. I love it.
Making a case. Hey, get me off this offensive line. That one went off the back of a lineman, and Kemp may have gotten a hand on it, and then Vaudrey able to turn something positive out of it.
The Tiger coming up with the reception. But the clock does continue to run. 40 seconds and counting here in the first half. Stasinski from the shotgun. A wet football. Stasinski fires out to the flat. It's complete and out of bounds. It was Jordan Fromont. Fromont had 7 touchdown receptions a year ago.
Good timing play. Fromont hadn't even turned around when the ball was in the air. He turns around and the ball's delivered right to him. Northbridge with a first down and gives the super fans that are to our right a little something to cheer about.
They got the bullhorn. Whoever the leader of the super fans is has the bullhorn out. He was getting them fired up earlier. The rain, kind of a late arriving crowd because of the rain. Here's Stasinski, flags fly. It's on the defense, and he's looking underneath. Yes, you're going to get a pass interference call as well. Cullen McNeil was matched up and onto the linebacker, and we're going to have a pass interference, I think, and encroachment on the defense.
Yeah. It was a free play, and Stasinski knew it. Tried to hit McNeil up the middle.
The pass interference.
We have 2 infractions on the play. We have offsides on the defense. That penalty would be declined. We have pass interference on the defense. That'll be a spot foul and automatic first down.
Declined. Pass interference penalty on the defense was accepted.
It's not a ton of yardage, but it's the automatic first down that counts.
Stops the clock with 23 seconds to play. It's a 35-yard line of the Northbridge Rams.
This is a spot where you might need to pull something out of the bag.
And that penalty would be good for another Northbridge Rams.
Stasinski sets his offense. Again, one of the things that the quarterbacks have to do, they have to know that offense inside and out where everyone needs to be. Make sure everyone's set. Stasinski fires the quick hitter, the hook and ladder, and it's caught by McNeil. Roberts on the hook and ladder gets across midfield, but a flag is down, and it may come back. If it stays, Roberts got out to the 48, but this one will probably come back.
Yeah, the body language from the Northbridge guys isn't indicating that.
Was a 17-yard pickup.
Pass interference. "15 yards, previous spot, repeat the down."
Pass interference call on the offense. It's probably the receiver.
Ladder, you had to,
because you get that push
you
off.
had to do something. You had to try something there. And if the pitch, obviously, if there wasn't a penalty, if the pitch was good, then, Roberts could have been gone.
14 seconds remain here in the first half. It's a 15-yard penalty.
25.
So that's going to march Northbridge back deep in their own end. And it's a first down, and they'll repeat first down. But from here with 14 seconds left, we'll see what happens. Let's see. They're going to. Quabbin calls the timeout with 14 seconds to play. See what the Panthers can dial up here on defense and see what Stasinski does as well. One of the things, and you can see it, the rain has been falling since early on in this game. You have a wet field. You have the rain coming down. For a quarterback, it's tough. It's tough to get a grip on the football, and especially you're talking about young kids here, a junior quarterback. So, like one of the things that these pros have, you got a guy who's grown, who's got big hands, it's easier to grip the ball. You got a younger kid who's still growing. His hands might be smaller. It's tough to throw a wet football just to get anything behind it. Stasinski from the shotgun. Colby Smith is way back. He's a good 30 yards into center field. Stasinski on the quarterback draw. Stasinski up the middle. Good yardage. Gets out to the 30-yard line. That will probably be the final play of the first half, but I like the call too. Get the quarterback, get his legs underneath him, get him a little confidence, get him rolling. I think they're going to, Stasinski looked like they were going to call for the timeout.
They did.
Yeah, they did. They're going to call the timeout. We'll take a quick break as well. Welcome back, everyone. 6 seconds remaining in the first half. Scoreless here at LaSalle Field between Northbridge and Quabbin. Quabbin has won the battle of the field position and time possession as well here in the first half. Northbridge trying to get in a rhythm offensively. Stasinski will go from the shotgun, ran a quarterback draw. Picked up some good yardage. And again, you're building a young quarterback's confidence, getting him in a rhythm. And now Quabbin takes a timeout.
Halftime might be coming at the right time.
Yeah, it's grinding to a halt.
Off in the distance, there was either an explosion in Uxbridge or there was lightning.
Both the Northbridge High School and the Quabbin High School lost power today in the afternoon. Knock on wood. We got the lights on here. Power in full force. Both teams looking for a little bit more electricity from their offense, maybe in a scoreless game.
I'm told if the power goes out, that Coach DeMasian rides a bicycle that will power the electricity in this booth. So I'm told that's how it would work, if indeed it happens.
He's got a bionic hip now. He's like Steve Austin.
Part of the rehab.
Steve Austin, the bionic man, he's back. Yep, we can rebuild him. We have the technology. Great to see Coach DeMasian back. Back on the Northbridge sideline, back in the booth. We missed him in the spring.
We'll see what happens.
He's going to have a front row seat on Saturday for the St. John's game, no doubt. Final play of the first half, probably, barring a defensive penalty. Incomplete.
That stops the clock.
Oh, it does it, with 2 seconds left.
Buchanan just wanted a little extra camera time, you know?
Nothing wrong with that.
With that last timeout.
Nothing wrong with that. 2 seconds to
if
play.
If you're going to the half scoreless and you're Quabbin, you got to feel pretty good.
You'll take it. Again, Coach Buchanan said a 14-7 game is what we're looking for. So they'll take a scoreless first half. They've moved the ball well. They haven't scored yet, but they've moved the ball well. And again, it's a brand new offense for these guys. So you're running the double wing after running the spread for so many years. And they did put in some double wing package last year, and they did have some of the younger kids at the JV running some double wing plays, so they had a little taste of it. But still, it's another thing to roll it out in force and make it your offense. And I think they've done pretty well with it.
Northbridge actually took another timeout there in the middle of that, so they've got something here with 2 seconds left.
Stasinski from the shotgun. Roberts is in the backfield with him. Before wide receiver set. Stasinski slips, fires over the middle. It is caught. And it's the hook and ladder again, but it's fumbled and picked up by Quabbin. And so it's a fumble recovery from Tristan Kemp.
Scoreless to the break.
Well, we had some plays. Ken LaChapelle not happy with the execution of his team. They'll have some time to talk it over here at the half. Quabbin nothing, Northbridge nothing. We'll take a timeout and be back with our halftime activities right after this.
With my Bay State Savings Bank mobile app, I don't need to drive to a local branch to deposit my money. I can deposit a check just by taking a picture on my phone. Anywhere, anytime. Done. I just saved on gas and saved myself some time. It's a win for everybody.
For everybody?
For everybody.
For everybody? For everybody.
For everybody.
I know.
Bay State Savings Bank is proud to sponsor the Friday Night Football Frenzy. Bay State Savings Bank. We take banking personally.
I'm District Attorney Joe Early, and I'm proud to partner with Charter Communications with our pledge to help raise awareness that bullying should not be tolerated. From local school students, here is our message.
If you see someone getting bullied, stand up for them. You never know what a few words can do.
We need to foster safe environments for students in their schools and their communities. Join the anti-bully crusade. Take a stand to lend a hand. Don't be a bully.
Presented by the law offices of Joseph J. Corriglia.
Welcome back, everyone. We are scoreless at the half, Quabbin and Northbridge. And Quabbin's got to be satisfied with what they did. I'm sure they would like to have some points, but they've got to be satisfied with what they did. They controlled the clock. They controlled the line of scrimmage for the most part of that first half, moving the ball up and down the field. They just weren't able to punch it in. For Northbridge, I think their offense just needs to get in sync. Yeah, they did what they needed to do, Kev. Quabbin did. They moved the football. They showed they could, control the line of scrimmage a little bit against Northbridge. Northbridge came up, made some big plays. The young Hayes guy, I'll tell you what, the sophomore for Northbridge made some big plays to kind of stop the momentum. It was back and forth, but they really didn't allow Northbridge to find a rhythm offensively. If the Rams come out in that first series here after the break and get some rhythm, could be a totally different half. Quabbin had 8 first downs. Phil Robo handed me his cell phone with our stats. Yeah. Quabbin had 8 first downs in that first half. Northbridge had 2. So you're talking about controlling the clock. Now, the penalties did hurt Quabbin. They had 4 for 25 yards. Northbridge had 2 for 20 yards. When you look at it, if you're Northbridge, I think you're saying, hey, listen, we're only 1 or 2 big plays away from having a lead here and having a big lead. So I think, they've got to be optimistic, and that's the way they're going to approach it. But it's a kind of a tale of two cities right now. It was kind of a continuation of the scrimmage-free season there in that first half. Guys feeling each other out. I expect to see some fireworks here in the second half from both teams, perhaps. Colby Smith is a guy who can really light it up for Quabbin as well. So I think it will be a tale of two halves, and both teams learning a little bit more about each other over the first couple of quarters. 76 yards of total offense for Quabbin in the first half, 27 yards of total offense for Northbridge. That's usually a drive or a half a drive for this Northbridge team. But that's the story right now. We're scoreless at the half, and now we're going to listen in to the Northbridge Marching Band. All right, welcome back, everyone. We are at the half, Quabbin and Northbridge, and a lot of balls have hit the deck. We've only had 2 turnovers, one each team, a fumble for Quabbin and an interception for Northbridge, but we have had balls on the deck a lot in this one. There's Colby Smith with the great interception and a big return as well, but both defenses have held the fort, and we're still scoreless. Yeah, defense is a little bit ahead right now, for sure. And in the weather, the conditions, pretty good sticks going on out there. Aiden Fair, the former quarterback, with the hit, laying the lumber. There's an I guess you could call that another turnover there right at the end. Yeah, add that one to the stat pile. But that was right there at the end of it with Kemp. Tell you what, Quabbin's been impressive. I don't know that a lot of people gave Quabbin a look in this game coming in, and they right now have owned the first half. Good news for them. Bad news for them is it's scoreless, and Northbridge gets the ball to start. And you have to find some way to get in. And maybe the first team who scores and breaks the ice here. Both coaches were talking up the freshman class that they are going to be really, really special. And here's Roberts. Roberts finds a seam. Roberts out to the 37-yard line. And you talk about the Northbridge, that last Super Bowl team, and I was thinking today about when I started, And in 1997, and thinking about Rick Asadorian, Jeff Metashevsky, Jeff Altieri, Matty Blood, that Super Bowl team, those kids won a couple Super Bowls. They were awesome. And now Matty Blood's got a kid in Uxbridge who's in the junior high. He's coaching at Uxbridge, coached with Archie over at BVT, was his D coordinator. But I love that. You see those generations. Of course, it means I'm very old.
Yeah, I know, and it being 8 o'clock, you're normally in bed at this hour.
The caffeine's keeping me up right now. And Stasinski, the snap gets over his head. Here comes the pressure. Stasinski falls on the ball. A smart play from the quarterback, Stasinski. It's a big loss on the play, back to the 15-yard line for Northbridge.
And not much he can really do about this. This is a missile coming right back at him. It's a huge loss, and it immediately puts them in a huge hole.
Yeah. It does.
You know, this is, you talk about double wing teams not having to get long yardage. Any team, when it's 2nd and 31, is a problem.
I'd look for a screen here. I'd look for either a quarterback draw or a screen here. Something just to get, try to get 10 yards and just get out from the shadow of your own end zone. They get the double handoff right up the gut. Some big yardage and a good hit as Cullen McNeil gets out to the 28-yard line.
Cullen McNeil's a good scrappy athlete and a tough kid. And I like that. They fake the give to Roberts and go back, almost counter back to McNeil, and he gets some good chunk yardage back, 14 on the play, but still a long ways to go for the Rams. I think they have to have Roberts. He's the guy they wanted in his hands 15 times. He needs to have some touches.
Two wide receivers head, another high snap over the head of Stasinski. He does pick it up, but he's buried there. Great job by that defensive front of Quabbin, because they came in there in a hurry. Stasinski showing his athleticism, able to scoop that ball up and keep the play alive.
Impressed with Owen Falha, number 70. He's actually being held there as he comes through and gets around the quarterback quickly, because Stasinski's an athlete. He could have made something happen there. Falha's a guy, a young guy that they think is a future running back, wing back in their offensive set, and he's playing on the lines on both sides right now.
Another kid, too, that might not have a lot of weight on his bones, but, man, he's a tiger with his mentality. Just keeps coming. High hanging kick. Smith is looking to return it. And good coverage from Northbridge. Smith gets down to the Rams' 41-yard line. Brian Wildman on the tackle, a 29-yard punt and a 3-yard return.
Yeah, nice job by Wildman. He has a couple good open field tackles for him now on a very tough guy in Colby Smith, who was looking to just shoot the gap and take off and couldn't ever get the engine started. Now here comes that Quabbin offense, good field position. If they can put a score up first, it really kind of increases the pressure value against the home team here.
Zach Coffin under center. That double wing setup. Now Smith goes in motion as a wide receiver, and they're going to throw to him. Coffin's going deep for Smith down the sideline. It's up in the air and incomplete. Tremendous defense from Zach Roberts.
That's a great matchup, and it's one I'd love to see. I'd come and watch this matchup all day long. Two great athletes on the field, and Roberts has position, makes a great play. Love to see that. You match best on best out there, see if you can go one-on-one, and it's a good ball by Coffin. Roberts is in great position.
Yeah, I really like the way that Coffin's able to throw that football. In the rain, get it up there and give your guy a chance. Just tremendous defense. You tip your hat to the D. Back into the traditional double wing set. They're going to run the sweep or the counter. And they pick up 3 yards.
I think that's Talbot, coming on the other side.
Seth Talbot on the carry.
There was a time in those spread offense days that Smith was putting up huge numbers, and right now he doesn't necessarily have to do that because he's got such balance around him with Herzig and And Talbot.
Talbot, 6 carries for 9 yards. 5 different players ran the football for Quabbin in the first half. 3rd and long. And here's Coffin on the run. Pressured, fires, and it's almost intercepted. Good defense, good break on the football by Michael Cullen, or Cullen McNeil rather.
Yeah, nice job. And Derek Rowan actually may have jarred it loose from McNeil by getting a hand there. He almost had to become a defender.
McNeil thought he had one right there. Beautiful defense though by McNeil to read the quarterback's eyes and break on the football. And so what you have here is you have a 3 and out. Let's see if they go for it. You have a 3 and out if they're going to punt it. And with 2 incomplete passes, you didn't take a lot of time off the clock. So for Northbridge, you kind of like what your defense just did.
Yeah, you know, and if you go for it and don't get any yards here, Northbridge can really flip the field on you. And now they're going to take a timeout. Quabbin will.
We will take a timeout as well from LaSalle Field. Still scoreless here in the rain.
Local news from Central Massachusetts for Central Massachusetts.
Water main break is flooding streets and causing major traffic problems. Worcester's looking to prevent the use of tobacco in the city. New video shows the moment when an EF1 tornado touched down in Webster.
Reporters in the field. And an in-depth local forecast. Worcester News tonight on Charter TV3.
Welcome back. The punt, high-hanging punt hits, and it is down at the 11-yard line of Northbridge. So, good punt, good coverage from Quabbin. A 29-yard punt, no return.
I think it's the right move if you're Quabbin. Try to keep Northbridge pinned back here.
Yeah.
Don't let them out, basically. They're back there. They're in jail back there. Don't let them out.
And remember the last drive for the last possession for Northbridge, 2 snaps went by the quarterback over the head or through the hands, and so you're now at your own 15-yard line. You get one of those snaps here, you're in danger. They'll go from the shotgun. Stasinski hands it off on the trap.
He's gone.
First down and more. Foot race and a beautiful tackle, a touchdown-saving tackle.
Wow.
Zach Roberts, like he was shot out of a cannon, gets up to his 37-yard line, and that is a touchdown-saving tackle by Talbot.
Credit Talbot. I thought once he got by Smith, he was gone. And he just did grab him. Nice job by Talbot to save a score. But there's the look of Roberts. Guy who can really move the football.
27-yard gain for Roberts. Northbridge as a team was still in negative yardage for total offense, and that climbs them close to sea level. And they keep it on the ground. So Northbridge, you're seeing a different Ram attack here. And that's Mahoney. Brandon Mahoney, the sophomore, getting the carry, and he just kept his knees pumping.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. You know, get some fresh legs in there. Mahoney plays defense for Northbridge, but or a lot of defense for Northbridge. But you know, as much as it pains him to run the football, Coach LaChapelle has had some success here in the first couple plays.
I think you might see him keep it here. You know, why not? It's working right now.
I mean, you have a quarterback
keep
who
it
can
on
run
the ground.
Football as well. So I mean, you've got a bunch of different options back there.
They're going to run that cross-buck trap again, and it's another first down across midfield and into Quabbin territory. And it's Mahoney again.
And Mahoney just follows the captain, Concepcion, through. Watch 76. 70 gets a good bump on a guy, too, and then you just follow from the quarterback, or from the end zone angle there. Follows the big fella through.
Yeah, they're moving the football. Easily the best drive of the night for the Northbridge Rams. And it's all come on the ground. 3 strong runs. Here's Mahoney again. Mahoney, a hard charger. He was hit at the line of scrimmage and barreled his way forward for 2 more yards, and 2 guys are down One on either side is, man, the pads are popping now.
Now the Northbridge line's starting to assert themselves a little bit right up the middle with McNeil and Kinney, and they got a good push. And this is good, big pop right there. But look at the surge of the maroon in front of them.
That's one of those players.
There's the super fans. There's my guy with the megaphone right there. There he is. Hey, a little bit of rain, no big deal.
They do not care. The enthusiasm abounds with the Northbridge super fans. We got a timeout on the field with 5:20 to play in the third quarter. Quabbin calls for the timeout. And they are moving right now, the Northbridge Rams.
Yeah, you know, get the megaphone. I feel like I got a megaphone in my ear every time Sean Grady says presenting reads. Central Mass High School football presented by the law office of Joseph J. Cariglia and Bay State Savings Bank. There it is. See, I mean, you got to go buy one of those little megaphones.
I like that. I think that's your next step here in the newsroom.
For Charter.
Is you're going to be barking at the reporters.
With the megaphone.
Yep. Let me see that script. Let me see, who's got the live shot? Who's outside today? Where's Bolduck? Is Piscalis even at work today?
Piscalis can be tough to find, especially if Bolduck's not around.
Joey Bags, on the camera right now, enjoying the rain.
Yep, he's probably.
Who's with him? Is Evan right in front of us?
Somewhere else.
Evan Schackenbach. Evan Schackenbach. See, Evan's a veteran, so he's got the raincoat and the hat on. Bags has got the golf.
Yeah, he's got the PV
thing, but
PV special right now.
He's letting the hair just get soaked. Joe Cortez, field level, doing a great job for us, and breaking a tackle at the line of scrimmage. First down and more. The running Rams. Cullen McNeil with another first down. Down to the Quabbin 36-yard line.
Well, if it's working, you got to stay with it. Kinney with a block on the outside. Concepcion up the middle. Smart play on the outside there by the receiver, Visbeek, to not commit a penalty, and they pick up first down yards, and there's a player down. Looks like a cramp.
The Fighting McNeils. You got three brothers on the team. They had an older brother who played here as well, who played at Nichols, is at Nichols now. And so you know that they're going to be tough, because you know those guys have just been battling each other growing up all their life. Cullen McNeil with just a tough run.
Well, good to see Joe Nichols up and about. Hopefully just a cramp, and the senior can get back in there for Quabbin.
A muggy night, you know, especially guys that are playing both ways. Cramping certainly can be an issue. Under 5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Still scoreless. Northbridge is marching, and they're doing it all on the ground. The quarterback keeper. Good defense.
Nice job. Straight up the middle. That was number 14, Tony Robideau. Or Robidoux, if you attribute him as a second cousin of Billy Joe. Robideau going in there. He's a Western Mass guy, or has family in Western Mass. The former Major League Baseball player. They think was a second cousin. Cousin of his dad.
Another cousin who was a big part of the team last year. Jake was a big standout for Quabbin. Eddie Riley used to play with Billy Joe Robidoux.
A baseball umpire. He actually umpired Eddie Riley's state semifinal game this year.
And now on the run, Stasinski eluding defenders, stiff arm, and slung to the turf, and there's going to be a face masking call.
I think they're going to get Tony Robidoux for the face mask.
That's going to give him a first down.
Let's see what Freddie King has for us.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense. 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
You know, the credit the athleticism of Stasinski, because he's just able to kind of get to the outside and really set this thing up. I mean, a lot of quarterbacks.
This is a big one.
Can't run. the way he can.
The penalty brings the ball down to the Quabbin 22-yard line, where the Rams have it 1st and 10.
This is the deepest that the Northbridge offense has been inside Quabbin territory all night. Under 4 minutes to play here in the third quarter, still scoreless. Stasinski from the shotgun, 3 wide receiver set. Northbridge has done their damage on the ground this drive, and they will keep it on the ground. Did a beautiful tackle, hat-on-hat tackle that time. Zach Roberts.
Zach Roberts with the
Jacob
carry.
Warburton for Quabbin.
Wow.
Came in. No gain on the play. He just comes stepping in.
Jacob
Takes the
Warburton with
brunt
the
of it.
Tackle. No gain on the
Robidoux is
play.
there as well.
2nd and 10.
That's where that weight room work comes into play, though. When you're able, late in the game, you're tired. Are you going to be able to wrap up and bring it on defense to bring a guy down?
I might cramp up. I may cramp up on the walk back to the car.
We're definitely getting right out because we are going to have to fly back up 146 to get into the studio to do sports tonight. 2nd down and 10. Snap gets away. And good job to fall on the football by Roberts. But the snap continuing to be a problem, a thorn in the side of the Rams. And it's hard on a wet night. You know, it's the center's job just to get it back there quick.
Yeah.
And so you're the quarterback. It's hard, but then it gets in your head, and you start thinking, oh boy, I got to clamp down on it. And then your hands are wet, and you're trying to dry them off in between snaps. You can see right now they got towels for Stasinski. You try to dry off your hands. They try to dry the ball as best you can. You can almost in between snaps. We'll take a break right here. Northbridge is driving, but we are still scoreless.
Yeah, come dressed like a job interview.
Not the first time. Not the first time that I've heard that. What is Boldy doing?
Why is he in the ceiling again?
It's not the first time. Quabbin through 3 quarters. Quabbin with 78 yards of total offense. Northbridge with 47 yards of total offense through 3 quarters. So Stasinski will come back out, and again, Northbridge is swapping balls out on every snap. You try to get as dry a ball out there as you can. Stasinski with the towel, trying to keep his hands dry. It's 4th down and about 20.
I like
will go from the shotgun.
I like he'll take a look and see where the safety heads and then try to find the matchup, maybe fair on the near side.
Smith is playing center field. He looks to the left. He fires to the left. Smith's going over there. It's up, and it's picked off. The Quabbin defense with a good return as well. Intercepted on the far side. Man-to-man coverage.
That's Thomas.
Devin Thomas gets the interception, the junior. Beautiful defense by Thomas.
Yeah, he had good position here. Yeah, you know, you got to make this play. You got to make this effort rather to try to pick up a big play and a 1st down. I like the call from Northbridge, but nice defense the other way from Quabbin.
Devin Thomas, a 2-year starter, and Coach Buchanan said he worked a lot in the offseason on his press coverage. Really worked on that press coverage. Well, you saw it there pay off. He was in man coverage. You're out on an island. He did a phenomenal job.
Colin McNeil gingerly off the field. That's the guy they want to check out and make sure he gets back in there. He's good on both sides of the ball for Northbridge.
Joe Cortez, our guy's he's got to bring back the bandanas. He was a great football player at Nipmuc. Used to wear bandanas and wear different color bandanas for different causes or different months. We're going to have to bring it back. Joe's going to have to bring the bandanas back. Cut the sleeves on the shirt. Opening play, it's a loose football, and it's recovered by Northbridge. The Rams come up with the recovery. Owen Hogan.
There was a good pop at the end of the play as it was going Quabbin's way. Hogan comes away with it for Northbridge. Let's get another look. Through, and a good stick there by the safety coming in. Gets his hat on the football. That's Fair. Gets right in there and knocks the ball loose.
Great tackle by Fair, and coaches always preach 11 hats to the football, and in practice they try to get that where guys will fly to the football. Everyone touch the football. Everyone touch the football. That's why.
And right now,
you have guys flying to the football. Hogan, one of them.
This Roberts is gingerly coming off the
Yeah,
field.
you got a lot of cramping issues over here.
Fair's
right
being
now.
looked at too. Fair's being looked at on the near sideline after that hit.
And hopefully it's just a cramping issue for Roberts. But a lot of guys are trying to stretch it out right now because they're having cramps. You got 3 guys right now on the Northbridge sideline stretching out for cramp issues. And it's almost intercepted. Go over the middle on the skinny post.
That was
Smith almost picked it.
Going for the tight end, Jed Wormuth, the big fella who runs a pretty good route over the middle. He's a big guy.
He's a hitter too.
But you know, you've got Fair on the sideline, you've got Roberts on the sideline, you've got a couple of your top weapons.
Yeah.
Not in for this drive.
Fromont's another one on the sideline stretching out for cramps.
So
now you got the big guy.
Wormuth is out as a split end here.
That's a big dude. Quarterback draw. Spread him out, but a beautiful tackle.
That's our dude, Fala.
Oh, that's a great tackle by Fala.
Do I have that right? Is Fala he's a young guy?
Owen Fowler, he's a freshman.
He's a freshman, right?
Yeah, he's a freshman.
I had to look at it twice on the roster, and that's what the coach told us. Dave told us last night, but I mean, he's playing. He's not playing like a freshman.
No, not at all.
Maybe
he's
he
top 5 speed-wise.
Maybe he reclassified in kindergarten or something. Are they doing that yet?
I don't think they're doing that.
Are they doing that yet? Okay.
Yeah.
Good job, Owen. Good on you,
public
kid.
schools. Fowler was the top 5 speed guy for this team, and you can see why. I mean, a freshman, he's going to be a beast. When he's a senior, he's going to be a Howie Long type. And this one up in the air, and the offense. Yep, we're going to get the interference call. The defensive back just never looked back.
The Wildman. They were going for Wildman. He was excited about the call, and he had to calm himself down. I love it. Great stuff.
I mean, this is just one of those plays. As you get experience, you kind of look when the eyes get wide for the
Pass
receiver.
interference.
Turn around.
On the defense. 15 yards in the
This is
previous
also
spot.
opportunity
Automatic
time for
first
guys
down.
like Wildman who can come in when Fair's on the bench to try to make a play, and he does a nice job to draw a pass
Ball
interference
is
call.
marked at the Quabbin 24-yard line. 1st and 10, Northbridge.
Quabbin 6 penalties for 55 yards. Here's Stasinski with 1:09 to play in the 3rd quarter. Northbridge driving again at the 24 of Quabbin. And they've had success running. They're going to keep it on the ground, and it's going to be very close to a first down. Brennan Mahoney, that sophomore, has really provided a spark off the bench offensively for Northbridge here in the second
He's done
half.
a great job, and he is desperately needed right now as the reserves are depleted there a little bit. Mahoney fires up the middle. That line doing a nice job.
4 carries, 25 yards for Brennan Mahoney. So he's going at 6 yards a clip. As the clock runs, 35 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Still a scoreless game, 2nd and short for Northbridge. Spread the defense out with 3 wide receivers. It's the quarterback keeper. And Stasinski's inside the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Rams at the 9.
And Hector Johnson just saved a touchdown. This is what you get when you have success running with Mahoney and your running backs, that you can play that fake off and read it back the other way with the quarterback picking up big yardage.
Timeout, Northbridge.
Jed Wormuth, if we look at that play again, Jed Wormuth, the tight end, he pulled on that play and got an absolute pancake of a block.
He's a big dude.
He
89.
just crushed a linebacker on that play. Number 89, Wormuth, 6'3", 240. Watch 89 come in here and just tattoo someone.
Oh, he got the big guy. He got Tristan Kemp. That's a heck of a block.
1st and goal.
And it's not easy to do. Kemp is a good one.
They hand it off. And Mahoney gets inside the 5, and the flag flies. Mahoney down to the 3-yard line. It'll be the final play of the third quarter.
Ball is marked at the 3-yard line.
Who's the penalty on?
Came all the way from the umpire, it looked like, or the back judge.
Freddie King will tell us.
They had 12 men.
Yep, it's going against Quabbin.
12 men on the field for Quabbin.
So now Coach LaChapelle is going over the options. It would be 2nd and goal without the penalty.
Or it's 1st and goal, I think, with a 5-yard penalty, so it would put it at about the 4-yard line, about where it is, I think, or maybe you'd get an extra half yard with the run. Let's see. It should be the final play, though. They should switch sides here. It should have been the final play of the quarter.
We have a substitution infraction on the defense. Half the distance to the goal remains first down. Will extend for 1 play.
Extended for 1 play. I thought it was only the half in the game that couldn't end on a defensive penalty, not the quarter. But they're going to line them up again one more time here. So it'll be 1st and goal after the penalty.
From the 4.
Roberts and Mahoney in the backfield. Stasinski to Roberts. Roberts straight ahead. Good push. Surges forward to the 2-yard line. And that will be the final play of the third quarter. After 3 quarters, we're scoreless at LaSalle Field, but the Rams are knocking on the door. 4th quarter when we return.
Holy Cross football is back in Worcester. Don't miss family fun and Division I football right in your backyard. Tickets start at just $15. Visit goholycross.com/tickets or call 1-844-GO-CROSS.
Doors. Every door is different. Every door, unique. And each one tells a story. Open a door at Unibank and you'll find a unique place. A bank where we listen to you and find answers. All to help you write your unique success story. Welcome to the new Unibank. Please, after you. Unibank. Bank different. Bank unique. Member FDIC. Member DIF. Equal housing lender.
Welcome back, everyone. We're getting ready for the 4th quarter here at LaSalle Field, Northbridge and Quabbin. The Rams have it 2nd and goal at about the 3-yard line. Aiden Fair just taken off the field with what looks like a shoulder injury, but going to the hospital, and that's not good news for this Northbridge team.
No, we wish him the best. Certainly hope he is okay and will be back. His team, though, trying to push one in right here in the 4th quarter. And again, said it earlier, it might be the first team that scores that wins this game.
First play of the 4th quarter coming up.
I'd go right in behind that offensive line. You got McNeil and Roberts, your 2 best back there now.
Stasinski from the shotgun to Roberts. Roberts spins, and he got in for the touchdown. Zach Roberts has broken the ice for the Northbridge Rams. It's 6-0 Northbridge.
A little bit of power football, ran in behind McNeil and found himself in the end zone. Not by much. Quabbin wasn't going to give it to him.
So Northbridge doing it with power football, running the ball.
33 minutes and 4 seconds, and we have our first score of the game.
Wow.
Time on the field. There's the block from McNeil, and then the seal on the inside, and in goes Roberts. There's big Concepcion, C76. Look out.
He is a big dude.
You don't want to be a safety. Oh, just not looking
No.
when the big fella's coming at you.
No, he got an initial block
and
and
then
the double
moved up.
team with the tight end, and then Chips turns on the linebacker. Wow. That's like a raging rhino.
Yeah.
Putting you in his crosshairs
you
on
don't
the
want to
plains of the
be in the way.
Serengeti.
You do not want to be. Yeah, you just get mauled.
Yep.
Just
get out of his way.
Mauled. You've got to watch out.
First play of the fourth quarter, though, and the Northbridge Rams punch it in to take a 6-0 lead. And they're going to kick it. Roberts.
Zach Roberts in to attempt the extra point.
Roberts in for the PAT. 6-0 Northbridge Rams. It's a fake. Stasinski, the holder, rolls out, and he fires to the end zone. It's caught for the 2-point conversion. The big tight end, Wormuth, hauls it in, and it's a 8-0 Northbridge lead.
That's a big one. A big one, and you trust the big fella to make the hands play out there, and Stasinski hits him. Here's a look. Fake all the way. Got a couple of options out there. McNeil underneath. Wormuth on the edge makes the play.
89, that's a Mark Bavaro type of tight end right there. He is a big kid.
He's got that size in relation to everybody else here on the field. Central Mass High School football on Charter TV 3 brought to you by Unibank, by the Sullivan Group, Pucci's Fine Jewelry, and Milford Federal. Well, they gave him a long lead up, but now something to cheer for.
Mike Ross,
Northbridge by
one of the best.
8.
There's a lot of high school coaches we know and a lot of high school players watching this game, checking in to see what's going on. West Boylston opening with Littleton tomorrow night. That should be a good game.
Who's going to that one? Sean Grady, I think, is going up there.
I like it.
Rossi, watch out for Grady. I make a pilgrimage to see wherever Ross is coaching on the first day of hitting. Every single year.
It's a holiday. Go
and
see
this
Rossi.
year, it was, oh man, it was a big holiday this year.
Colby Smith back deep.
That's Hector Johnson.
Quabbin. Here's Johnson around the side. Johnson's got some blocking. Johnson's got good speed.
So
just a phenomenal athlete. He's out to the 34, a 17-yard return from Johnson.
And I think he's going to be a guy who gets better and better in the system as it goes on. He's a guy that his coach said in the off-season workouts we did like pick-up basketball for conditioning, and he didn't know if he ever played organized basketball, but he was the best basketball player on the squad. Dex might be looking for him.
Dexy's midnight runners, they'll come looking for him. Northbridge now, in terms of total offense, with 73 yards, 52 of them on the ground.
And it really just seems to me, I don't know if it feels that way, that Quabbin hasn't had the football in like an eternity.
Yeah, the script has been flipped from the first half to the second half. First half, it was Quabbin with the ball in time of possession, and second half, it's been Northbridge, and it's, again, the Rams doing it on the ground.
Good run from Colby Smith to kind of reestablish. Now, if you're Quabbin, you've moved the football offensively, but you've really been moving it between the 20s. Haven't been able to finish that drive. They'll need it here. Down a score.
Smith with 10 carries for 27 yards. So he's been held under wraps by this defense. This Northbridge defense, Steve Falconer's group has done a nice job. In the first half they bent, but they didn't break, and in the second half they have been stout. The fullback gets the call, and he's going to be close to the first down. Looks like he's just a little shy.
Yeah, second and third effort from Rohan there made it close to the sticks. Just short. But man, he's a tough mutter right up the middle there in these conditions. I think regardless, you talk about people that are watching, I think regardless of who you are, if you have Quabbin next week, you know, you're you have some things that if you haven't seen him yet on film, there's some eye-opening stuff here. They've got some guys that can really slug you. This is a much different team than a year ago, but that doesn't make them any less dangerous.
Third down and inches.
I don't think they'll punt again, barring some sort of odd scenario where it's 4th and furlong. I think you're going to see them go for it the rest of the way.
And one other game being played tonight, that's Auburn and St. Peter Marion. Last score, Auburn up 12-8 late in the game with 3:33 left in the game. Following Chris Kine on Twitter. 12-8 Auburn lead with 3:33 to play. That one's going to be a physical contest because St. Peter Marion going to the double wing offense under Coach Tolman this year. And a lot of former St. Peter Marion stars on that Tolman staff. Tolman played for legendary coach Owen Kilcoyne. Of course, Jeff Cormier always has his crew ready to hit, always has them playing a physical brand of football. Third down and inches. And this is just a board drill up front. And it looks like he got the first down.
Yeah, that's close. Depends on the spot. Pretty
Phil
good.
Robo, our statistician, it's almost eye level with Phil. It is indeed a first down. So that game just up the road, flying down, flying around. And this one here, still 9 minutes to play at 8:48 in the evening. See what happens for the sportscast tonight. Zach Coffin, the senior.
Fly by the seat of your pants sportscast, see what it's going to be.
Yep, exactly right. Beautiful defense. Crashing down. Defensive end.
Hogan.
And that's Hogan, Owen Hogan. The linebacker. Outside linebacker reading his keys.
3 seconds and 7.
I can't believe it's still pretty humid out here. It's a tough night, conditions-wise. They had that rain, the high heat the last couple of days. You had the high heat that was canceling practices and scrimmages last week. It's been a rough off season to get these guys ready.
Here's Smith. Smith gets forward for a couple yards, but that's good defense and good pursuit from the Northbridge Rams.
But Coach LaChapelle was telling us, hey, you don't have a lot of time as a team with coaches to get these guys ready. You lose a couple of days.
Yeah.
It could set you back. And everybody's in the same boat. A lot of people missed out on scrimmages and practices last, I think, Wednesday.
Yeah, Northbridge was supposed to scrimmage Blackstone Valley Tech.
Right.
And former Northbridge great Jimmy Archibald, the head coach at BVT, but they had to cancel that one because of the heat. Third down. Smith follows his blockers, but sees a wall of maroon jerseys.
Wow, really good job reading by that Northbridge defense. They've seen a lot of double wing over the years, and they read this one pretty well. Vaudreux's in the middle there with just his arm and whole big group.
Aiden Pylon as well, number 55, running downhill. And at the point of attack, blowing that play up as well.
Good job all the way through.
Fourth down, Quabbin going for it. This could be the play of the game right now. Under 7 minutes to play. It's an 8-0 Northbridge lead, and it's 4th and 6. And they're going to throw. Coffin has a man, and it's incomplete. Coffin was under pressure, had to fire on the run, and the Northbridge defense holds.
Now the super fans are excited about it. They're checking Twitter right now and seeing what's going on, but that's a big stop for Northbridge. If the Rams offense can keep the momentum and keep the ball on the ground, the way their offensive line kind of took over in the last quarter, then they could go salt this game away right here.
And see if they go from under center, because Jake Stasinski and Luke McNeil, the center, were working during that last series on the sideline here.
Yep,
they were taking snaps, but it was under center.
There's the look here in an I formation.
This is old school football. This is 1980s football here. I formation, just run the wham series.
Roberts was stopped in the backfield. He spun out and able to get a yard. The other thing you have to wonder is just how many times they work in just the traditional I. Like, quarterback has to get out to the runner and deliver him the football still. Here's Roberts a little bit shaken up, but gutting it out. You know, at places like Auburn and other places, they're sitting there and they're practicing handoffs. They're practicing the 3 yards in a cloud of dust style offense. How much does Northbridge get a chance to do it?
I would think not very often, but we'll see it now, certainly. The rain began falling early in this contest. It has rained steadily throughout. It has not puddled up on the field, but it's still a wet surface. They're going to throw the quick hitter, just a quick slant. That one may have been batted at the line of scrimmage. Good defense from the right side of that defensive line for Quabbin.
It stops the clock for Quabbin, so that's a good thing for the Panther defense. This is the time of the game in the first week, in the first couple of weeks, where you find out about your fitness. What team will be stronger in the fourth quarter? Those weight room workouts and those summer workouts in the heat.
Big third down here. 3rd down and 12 for Northbridge. Stasinski from the shotgun. He fakes the handoff and takes it himself. Stasinski, quarterback keeper, and he's got the first down. What a run by Jake Stasinski. Did a great job selling that fake. But man, he ran tough. Ran downhill.
That's a huge play, and he makes 2 and 3 different efforts here. That move, then a spin, and then an extra little dive to get just enough for that first down. That's a huge play. Take it under 6 minutes.
I mean, in 2 ways. You picked up 12 yards to get the first down, and now with a fresh set of downs, that clock's running still. Now we're under 6 minutes to play. It's field position, and it's also, you're going to kill potentially another 2 minutes if they just run it 3 times here. Here it is again. Stasinski, same play. He's got his tight end in front of him. He's got a first down and more down to the 25 of Quabbin.
Impressive play by the quarterback. Nice job by Smith, Kobe Smith, to make the play. He has a wall running at him in Wormuth. Is able to just get around him. But a first down run for Stasinski, and that's the opportunity to take another few more minutes off the clock.
And you talk about conditioning now. If you're a defense and you're a defensive lineman and even a linebacker, but you've been, especially the linemen, they've been out, and if most of them playing both ways, you feel like you're in quicksand right now. It's hard to get those feet moving. You've been, just the hand-to-hand combat. You've been battling your opposing linemen all game long in a wet field and a muggy night. Phil Robo
delay of game.
not happy.
Well, the Northbridge offensive line, and they've got guys that are playing on both sides of the ball on that line. They've been the ones that have been strong here in the third quarter and in the fourth quarter. They've established the line of scrimmage. Now, the Quabbin line has guys, almost all of them are playing on both sides of the ball. So it's complete Iron Man on the Quabbin side. It wears. It has to wear on you after a while.
That penalty stops the clock with 5:04 remaining in the game. 8-0, Northbridge in front. Now they'll go from the shotgun on first down and 15. It is McNeil. McNeil slips a tackle into the secondary. McNeil runs over a couple players and gets down to the 11-yard line. And now McNeil comes up, and he could be cramping up too.
He cramped up a little earlier and may have it going again, but this is a hard physical run. Out of one tackle, out of another, runs over another, and picks up big yardage.
17 yards on the rush for McNeil. Picks up the first down. The clock continuing to run, under 4:40 to play in this game.
This has to be one of the, probably in the last, 15 years, one of the more lopsided run yards to pass yards for the Northbridge offense. They're really getting it done on the ground.
Yeah, it's got to be. Here's Stasinski. Mahoney, the sophomore Mahoney, barrels forward, may have lost the football. And the officials say he was down. No, now they say one official said he was down. Right away marked that he was down. The officials confer, say it was indeed a fumble and a Quabbin football.
Well, tough to tell from that angle.
There we go. Let's get another look here.
If he was on a player, that's just a wash. That ball had to be coming out a little bit. I don't know if it was fully out or not, but it'll be Quabbin ball. Long way to go. 4:11 to play.
Quabbin took a couple timeouts early in this half. So they got a ways to go. They need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to extend it. 4:11 to play. Holy Cross has a big one coming up on Saturday at the Heights at Boston College as they renew the great Jesuit rivalry. They played 82 times over a 90-year period. Haven't played since '86.
I was 9 years old, Kev, when it happened.
At 86?
9 years old. Those are the good
old
days.
I was in high school, so I would not have been at that, but I was definitely at a few of those BC Holy Cross games, both at BC and at Holy Cross.
I think it was a great timeout by Buchanan. He had to get his line a little bit of rest and reset him here on the offensive side.
Here's Smith. Smith looking for somewhere to run, and there's just nothing there.
Smith on the carry.
Now, the Northbridge defense has been incredibly tough on the run.
Gain of about 1 second and 9.
They faced a lot of double wing teams, and they range from Shepherd Hill and the giants they have on that offensive line. And Shepherd Hill had success against them, and Coach LaChapelle said, yeah, they had success against us. They were just so much bigger than our guys were. But if you match up equal size, and this is about a pretty equal matchup here, he thinks they have a pretty good read or look at him at the, he calls it the sniff offense.
Yes. He's not a fan.
He's not a fan
of the double wing. Unabashed. Big stick at the end of that run. Some positive yards for Quabbin, and he'll still be looking at, though, a 3rd down and 6.
Seth Talbot on the carry. Picked up 4 on the play. 3rd and 5.
3 minutes even to play right now.
Now, this is some kind of slobber knocker in week 1, Kev.
This is a good one.
This is Phil Robo type football. He loves this defensive game. Gets to rest the pencil every now and then.
Here's Smith again on 3rd down, following his line, and Quabbin has consistently run to the left side of their line in the second half, particularly in this 4th quarter. They've really enjoyed that sweep to the left side. It's going to be 4th down and 3, so this play right here will be your ball game. If Northbridge can hold, they'll win the game with 2:14 to play.
Ball is locked around the 12-yard line.
There's Coach LaChapelle, the younger LaChapelle, Coach Falconer.
Jess LaChapelle, yeah.
And there's Ken LaChapelle in the
Yeah,
back.
there's Coach DeMasian. He was with us in the first half. He must not want to ride the bicycle to keep the lights on anymore, so he had to go down.
He is the best. He is so great. He's another one that's just such a positive influence on the kids here at Northbridge High School. They're going to throw under pressure. Northbridge gets the sack.
Hayes.
They hold on defense, and they will win it. They will win it. Good pressure from the defensive line. Hayes got him.
I'd say we've seen 2 good young guys, and Hayes on the Northbridge side has made a lot of plays. Fowler on the side of Quabbin defensively, and Hayes, the sophomore, heck of a job. It's a big play, 136. Northbridge can pretty much run a play or two, depending on the timeout situation with Quabbin.
We'll see. And now if you're the Quabbin defense, you just want to hold. You don't want them to get in the end zone. But if you're Northbridge, you're saying, let's go. Let's punch one more in. We're on the 5.
Hayes is a junior. Sorry about that. I was cutting him down by a year. Young guy anyway. He's making some nice plays.
Here's Stasinski in the huddle. The junior. 1:36 to play. Let's see if they get in victory formation. They are. They're in the victory formation. Stasinski, I think, is just going to take a knee. Nope, quarterback sneak. He stopped. Quarterback sneak, he stopped just inside the 5-yard line. And we'll see when they set the ball. And they set it. So Northbridge doesn't have to snap the football. Still about 50 seconds. Quabbin calls a timeout.
Now you never know. Wet football, ball on the ground. Stranger things have happened. You have to use these timeouts if you're Quabbin. They do hurt our chances of getting back for the sportscast tonight.
If you're Northbridge, we'll see what they do if they go to the quarterback sneak or if they go with the regular backfield. Sometimes you'll see a coach will kind of feel the other coach out. Is he going to let us run the clock out? And if not, then okay, we'll run the football, but we'll see what Northbridge does with 1:13 to play. 2nd and goal. Zach Roberts is your running back. Double tight. It's a short yardage formation. Roberts gets the toss sweep. Roberts cuts it back, cuts it up, spins, and Roberts is into the end zone for the touchdown, Northbridge. Roberts plows into the land of 6, and Northbridge has a 14-0 lead.
Well, I mean, Northbridge says if you're going to take the timeout, we're going to punch one in, and that's just the way it goes. 14-0. Going to be insurmountable the way things have gone. And the Rams are going to get out of week 1 with a win. And they'll be happy about the win, but you know Coach Losh will have a lot to say to his guys. And if you're Quabbin, you know, you did a lot of good things here in week 1 with a new system. And there's still plenty of football left to play for the Quabbin Panthers. So it's a shorter season for the regular season, but still a lot of football left for them.
Super Jock.
Short
point after was deflected and it's no good. A 14-0 lead for Northbridge with 1:06 remaining in this game.
Auburn defeated St. Peter Marion 20-8 in Rocketown.
Rockets, that's a good win
start
for Auburn.
For them. And
that is a good opening
you
week
and I,
win.
you and I had these two teams, Northbridge and Auburn, are the teams we spotlighted on the Frenzy preview show in the division. And both teams are going to get better as it goes on. Auburn's a big physical team. They almost, and Jeff Cormier is going to play it down a little bit, but they almost are starting to resemble one of those teams that they had a few years ago with that size that they have on that line.
Yeah, and they're going to go to the defending state champion Dennis Yarmouth next week. They'll play down there to raise money for the fallen officer.
Yep, they're essentially like Holy Cross. You know, they play a tough opponent in week 1, and they go play up big time. As Holy Cross is going to Boston College, they're going to go play up big time at DY in week 2. It's the top cop game on the Cape.
And dropped at the 42-yard line.
Flag flies late. Sam Capolino on the carry there. Now, Capolino is a quarterback / tight end now. That's a name in Quabbin football. We've had some Capolinos up there that have been part of that explosive offense.
Personal foul on the kicking team. 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
Well, there's still a glimmer there, Kev, as they get good field position. Quabbin.
Auburn football team is selling T-shirts too to raise money for the family of fallen officer Sergeant Sean Gannon of the Yarmouth Police, but they're selling T-shirts like they did for the family of Officer Tarantino a couple years ago when we had the Top Cop game. We traveled down to Dennis Yarmouth to raise money and put on a nice tribute for Sergeant Gannon. Northbridge getting some good pressure here. Out of bounds with 52 seconds to play goes Coffin. So under a minute to play.
Now, I don't know if you've noticed this. I know there's still some game left, but there's these two kids, and they've been carrying these tray of food around. You see them right behind the Northbridge bench? I've been wondering what's in that tray of food for maybe the last quarter.
Oh, yeah.
There's two young kids. They've got a tray of food.
Yep.
Now, a few years ago when they made that playoff run to win the States, I think it was Kobe Schofer's mom used to have cookies after every game.
That's probably it
If
right
those
there.
are
There's
cookies,
2 trays.
I may have to delay our trip back.
Can't be by much more than 20 seconds. Good run to the outside. I see Steve Farley.
They were great cookies.
The Northbridge native and great scribe for the Telegram down there. He's drenched. Farles is drenched.
Yeah, he's here
He's
working
got the
out.
sleeves cut
He's working
on
out.
his shirt.
He's a Northbridge guy.
He doesn't take days off. Farles doesn't take days off.
He got a new Patriots
cut the sleeves. Hat backwards. Farles years ago, I saw him get wiped out on a kick return at Assumption.
That was horrific.
A lesser man would have blew his knee out. He
did blow his
attributed
knee out.
his training to averting a more serious knee injury because of all the work he puts in here at the track at Northbridge High School. Now a little shovel pass forward. Nice job to make something out of nothing. Noah Herzig on the reception, and they'll call a timeout with 9 seconds remaining, and we'll have 1 or 2 more plays remaining in this one. A 14-0 Northbridge lead.
Hey, Kev, it's been fun.
It has been fun.
You know,
it's a good opener for us.
For us, we're like a football team. We get better as the season goes on.
True.
I mean, not you.
But
you're
we're
in,
also
you're in
like
mid-season
we're
form.
also like the coaches, where we get so excited for the start of football season. We get so fired up and talk to the coaches and talk to the kids and just get excited about football season. It's here. And Quabbin's going to run the ball. And out of bounds, stopping the clock with 3 seconds, goes Smith. So we will have one more play. Northbridge defense looks to pitch the shutout. Coach Falconer would love that one. As Northbridge has a lot of young kids in the game right now. Let's see if there is a young Falconer. There's number 32 in the game. Let's see him calling Falconer. Could be the final play of the game right here. Coffin to throw. Here comes the pressure, and it is incomplete. The Northbridge defense pitches the shutout The Rams with 14 second half points, and they win it 14-0. Our final score Saturday night. We got Catholic Memorial and St. John's coming your way right here on Charter TV3 at 9 p.m. For our producer-director Sean Grady, Andy Lacombe, Phil Robo, and our entire Charter TV3 crew, I'm Kevin Shea. Thanks for watching, everyone. So long from LaSalle Field, where the Northbridge Rams win the opener 14-0.